Hutmas to you all. Yes, it's that time of year again already where people gather around their Hutmas trees and exchange Jabba-related merchandise, I guess. So, yeah, I wanted to make a Jabba collection pickups video in honor of the season. Now, most of them are not going to be Christmas themed or anything like that, but I did have, well, one thing I wanted to show you, obviously. Most of everything I'm going to be showing you is stuff that I've gotten since my last pickup video, which was maybe a month and a half ago. But this item that we have right in front of me was actually something I think I got last July or something like that. It's been a while. But I don't think I've shown it on the channel before, even though I have posted about it on my website. So I thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and do that. This, what we see here, is a large, quite large plush. I can barely reach out to touch him here. I have to sit pretty far away for him to be in frame. You may recognize it as being very similar to the Jemmy plush Halloween greeter that I have talked about on the channel before, and also I introduced it during the mystery Jabba plush that I got on eBay video right there. In fact, this whole thing that I'm going to talk about right now is kind of a similar situation to that. This was something that cropped up on eBay similarly, just out of the blue, and I don't fully remember even what happened, but somehow I got in contact with the guy who was selling it, and we got to talking. Basically, we came to an agreement where I would purchase it for, a reasonable amount of money. He originally had wanted quite a bit of money. He had to buy it now for, I don't remember how much, but, $200 or $300 or something like that. And I was like, even I have my standards. I am not going to be just sort of blindly purchasing something like this for hundreds of dollars, especially because at the time I wasn't even sure exactly what it was. It was a similar situation where, you have something crop up and you're like, oh, is this actually something special, or is it just something that's showing up for the first time on eBay and I'm only seeing it just now? I'm not 100% even sure now what the situation is with this one, but anyway, long story short, this is, as I say, the Halloween greeter general body here, but it's obviously a Christmas version, and Jemmy did make Christmas versions of their plushes, but as far as I know, they did never actually make a Christmas Jabba. I've never seen one. I've never seen a picture of one. I'd be interested to know if anyone else has. I'm relatively sure that this is some sort of a sample or a prototype or, whatever you want to call it. It has no tags on it. All of these lights that are strung around his body have been sewn in. And the hat as well is sewn on. He doesn't have any kind of evidence that someone had removed the, the bag and just done this on their own somehow. So I'm thinking probably this is just an item that they never actually released, and that was further strengthened by the fact that the guy who sold this to me got it from a thrift store in the same town, I guess, where Jemmy has its headquarters. So I was like, yeah, that seems seems pretty reasonable that this might be some kind of prototype. Anyway, just thought you might be interested in that in honor of the season. And what I'm going to do now is introduce some of the other things that I got in the last month or so. So speaking of eBay, this was an item that kind of has been taunting me on eBay for quite a while. This is a set of special edition Star Wars Pyrex glass storage bowls, which, not something I generally get that excited about, but Pyrex and also Corel, which I guess is the sister brand of theirs, has a whole Star Wars line. And this one in particular had a certain hut on it that I was very interested to see because, there's not a lot. In fact, there's very little of officially licensed kind of, kitchenware kind of stuff. Very little indeed that has Jabba on it. So I wanted to get some, but by the time I found out about it, it was long sold out on the website, and it was only available through resellers on eBay who wanted like $80+ and shipping. And I was just like, don't want it that much. So I just sort of put it on the back burner until, I kind of checked back on the website periodically, to see if it had come back in stock. And lo and behold, a little while ago, about a month ago, took quite a long time for this to arrive. About a month ago, I was happy to see that this was back in stock. It was about $40, I think, which is still not cheap, but much better than what the scalpers on eBay were charging. So let's go ahead, and this is actually just the empty box. I have the things, the bowls right here to show you. So here we are. They're actually quite sizable bowls. One is smaller than the next. And here we have the one with Jabba on it, also Boba Fett and Slave One. Jabba's on there a couple times, 2 or 3 times. So pretty cool. They also have their little lids that go on them. These are actually, pretty nice quality bowls, I think. We also have a Yoda. They have quite a number of Mandalorian, the child-themed ones as well. Here we have the droids. And so, yeah, I was pretty happy to finally be able to get that one in particular. In addition to this, I also have some plates. These are, I think, called appetizer plates. We have You're My Only Hope, Beep Beep, Roar from Chewbacca, It Is Useless to Resist, and finally, Bring Me Solo and the Wookiee. These, if I'm honest, some of these ones, like this, the artwork seems a little janky. I mean, they're supposed to be kind of simple, very messy line drawings, and I think that works best over on here, like when they have it with color, maybe makes a difference. But on these plates, I'm not a huge fan of this style. But still, nice to have a Jabba plate, finally. How long have I been waiting for a Jabba plate? I don't know. All right, after this, let's move on to something else. Next up, we have this very intriguing item. This is a sipper cup. It's called a Paddy Frog sipper cup, and it's only available at Galaxy's Edge parks at the moment, anyway. It is something that they would actually sell you a drink in, I guess, and then you pay extra, so you get the sort of souvenir cup to take home. I don't know if they sell them just on their own without any drink or whatever. I can't tell if this one has actually been used or if it's just been cleaned really well, but I had to get this on eBay. It was not super cheap, as you might imagine, because anything you can only get in the parks, people have to pay a premium for. But I was happy to do so because this is quite an extraordinary item. Now, as you can probably tell, it's modeled after Jabba's hookah pipe, essentially. This top part with the sort of metal work here and the band going around looks exactly like the top of his hookah pipe, and even this part going up would be where, his hookah would be. So you're kind of, it's almost like you're smoking the hookah in a way. But they're calling it a Paddy Frog sipper cup, and as I'll show you in a second, they actually have a frog in there for you. It's got a handle and the sort of carrying strap or whatever that you can put around your shoulder, I suppose. And it's got, I think, it comes apart there. It seems pretty nice, It's I think it goes for about $16 in the park. I'm not entirely sure if that's separate from the drink or not. I think it sounded like, depending on what you drink, what drink you're getting, it might be more or less. But in any case, for that price, it's not too terribly bad. I paid considerably more than that, though. But anyway, it's 2 pieces. We have the top, which has the handle integrated into it, and also the straw. And then the bottom part where we have the actual Paddy frog there, which is very cool. I mean, actually, yeah, I can't think of anything that's been quite so unapologetically Jabba-centric for quite some time. So this is definitely one of my favorite items to add to the collection for a long time. It doesn't look like it would hold that much liquid, though, to be honest with you. I mean, it's not super big, and then you've got this big frog taking up a lot of the room inside. So I don't know if, you know, you have to pay a lot of money for a drink to get in it, if it's that great of a deal. But in any case, not only do you have the straw here and the handle, but you also have a light-up feature on the bottom. So if you push this little button here, it will light up. Now, I'm not sure how well it's going to show up with my studio lights on here, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, you can't really tell. Let's turn out the lights and see what it looks like then. Actually, it's a pretty cool effect, and I can imagine if there was liquid in here, it would be even better. Here, let me turn it off and on again so you can get the idea. Pretty nice. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite items of the year, I think, actually. Lots of fun. Our next item is something I got on Etsy. This is a set of Little People inspired figures. You know, Fisher-Price has those Little People figures, especially sort of the vintage ones that are quite simple, cylindrical shaped figures. And the guy on Etsy, Shock 3D Prints, has a whole line of these Little People inspired figures that he's made. Some of them are Star Wars, some of them are other things, I believe, but quite a few Star Wars ones. Naturally, I was most attracted to this set. It has Jabba and Salacious Crumb, and you may recognize this style of bottom. You know, the Little People, they would have things that they could slot into, like that. And then they also have a nicely modeled throne that appears, I think, well, I can't tell. I can't tell if this is done somehow with two-color printing or if it's just been printed separately and assembled. But either way, it's well done. So the throne is the same thing. We got 2 colors. I don't think this has been painted. I can't say for sure. But definitely this and this are not painted, and this is sort of a translucent filament, it looks like. There is a little paint on these guys, though, so certainly Jabba's front area here has been painted, and his eyes and so forth. But very, very clever concept, and I thought these were really quite cute. You can get these on Etsy as well as a lot of his other stuff. I'll put a link in the video description. Next up, I have a custom throne from Spaceport77 Studio on eBay. He's a guy who makes sort of custom Star Wars scenery, and I was really impressed when I saw this. This is, well, this part I assume is made of resin, and I'm guessing it may be sort of recast from something from Hasbro, although it doesn't match exactly a Hasbro thing. But it looks good, you know. The only note I would say would be it'd be nice if this was actually translucent somehow, but it looks good. The throne itself, which is a separate thing that you can buy, is very nice and heavy. It's made of wood, which has been, I guess, carved. On the bottom you can see his logo there, and he's got some little feet for it. But I was really quite impressed with the quality here. He's got the gargoyles, and you know, they have a nice paint job on them. They look appropriately sized. And if we put the railing on there, it looks pretty good. This is, of course, for the 3 3/4 inch scale, but they also have one for the larger 6-inch Black Series figures. They also have, after I bought this, they put up a different version of this railing that kind of curves around like it should, which I kind of want to get now. But just to give you an idea of what this looks like, you can put the 3 3/4 inch Black Series Jabba on there. Obviously, he would look better with some accessories. He actually sells accessories as well, like pillows and a few Jabba's Palace creatures and things. One accessory that I did get, though, is this meat rotisserie, the barbecue, which I thought, if we can if we can get this to focus, that it was really quite impressive looking. Look at that detail there, the scroll work, and like that belt and everything, the chain that turns it. I thought that was pretty cool. That would go, of course, in back. Probably needs to be raised a little higher than that, but very, very nicely done, and not super expensive either, these things. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the video description. I was going to do a bigger video about these and get a few more of his things, but there were some delays and things. I may still do that. I'm very interested to see what his larger, you know, 6-inch scale version looks like, because if it's anything like this, I think it's a very good option for people to have for their 6-inch Jabbas, which really don't have a throne available to them unless you want to make it custom yourself. So I've shown some of these figures off quite some time ago. I've had some of them for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years maybe, but I'd got a couple more of these, and I thought it'd be worth showing them all together. And, you know, a lot of people probably haven't even seen the original video, which you can see up there, by the way. So, yeah, these are all, as you can probably tell, Homer Simpson as various Star Wars characters. They're made by a guy on eBay from Mexico who does, as far as I can tell, he specializes in making Homer Simpson parody sculptures or figures like this, which is quite something. I've just sort of cherry-picked the Jabba-related ones, I guess you'd say, but they have a lot of other Star Wars ones. They have other things like, you know, horror and other things. Like I really was tempted by the Conan the Barbarian ones that they have. Lots of stuff. These do take quite a while to get, as I recall. I, you know, bought it, and it was like a month and a half later that it finally arrives, but they're not very expensive. So I guess it's, you know, not too bad. And I've always gotten the ones that I have ordered. So just to quickly look at these, obviously the most interesting one to me is Homer as Jabba. This is, of course, also the biggest one. On the bottom, all of these are a little bit unfinished seeming, but, you know, they're handmade, basically, I guess, cast and hand-painted. So that's to be expected. It's definitely a very cool one. I'm a big Simpsons fan anyway, so anything like this is right up my alley. Here we have Homer as Boba Fett. It's a pretty cool paint job, actually, considering the price. I mean, I think, I don't know, I think it was like $12 or something, but then you have to pay $8 or $10 shipping, something like that. Still pretty reasonable. Let's see. Well, I had Jabba, Boba Fett, and Chewbacca, as well as Han and Carbonite before. Let's give you a look at that one real quick. This one is really well done. Look at his tummy. Again, on the back, it's totally unfinished, basically. But then recently I got C-3PO. Again, with the tummy, it's pretty funny. And then the Gamorrean Guard, which was the one I was most interested in. I think this is a new one, or at least it's new since I looked at it, at his listings. Very cool. The only thing is, they're sculpted, a couple of these. Oh, crap. They're sculpted. Oh, no. Oh, my God, he's broken. It's all right. This was just glued on to begin with. I will fix that in a minute. I was saying these are sculpted to hold a weapon, but they don't actually have weapons, and I'm not really sure why he's done it that way. Like, this, obviously is supposed to have a bowcaster, but he doesn't have one. So that's the only real flaw with them, I suppose I would say. But yeah, these are definitely some of my favorites. There we go. Finally, I have this piece of original artwork that I got from DeepFriedBrassTacks on Etsy. This is, it's called Jabba Burger, and it shows what appears to be Jabba dressed as a Jedi. He's got sort of ketchup and mustard, I think, on his robes there. He appears to be, I'm not sure if he's meant to be force levitating this burger into his mouth. I'm guessing that's what it is. And then he's got a lightsaber, and there's Salacious crumb trapped in one of his fat rolls. This is by the artist Mike Rominsky, as I say, on Etsy. They actually, he is selling prints of this artwork if you want some, and he has other original artwork as well. But I just thought this was really well done and not super expensive or anything, so I picked it up as a sort of a spur-of-the-moment purchase, but I'm quite happy with it. Well, that's about it for this collection pickups video, but I do expect to make at least one more video, I think, before the end of the year, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you have a very merry holiday season, and remember to stay safe out there. And special thanks go out to my patrons and these Palace VIPs. In particular, Angelica Brady, thank you very much for your support. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, you can get some perks like early access to videos or behind-the-scenes posts, as well as a number of other benefits as well. There's a link in the video description to my Patreon page, so check it out for more information. Thanks for watching.